Hi, I'm Chris Abair. I'm a local artist, and I come to realize that public access television is a great way to exhibit somebody's art. Now, I'm not an artist. I don't take my show on the road. Everything I do is in my living room. So this public access television offers me a way to exhibit some of my art without leaving my own home. I think I'm going to take advantage of it. I suggest that other people do. I mean, some of the programming on public access television is, I have to admit, it's kind of boring. We can do better than that. People love to voice their opinions or show off their art or their talent, and this is a great way to do it. It gives you exposure just like the big TV networks get, and it doesn't cost you a cent. So one of the things I do artistically is play around with video, so it works out great. It doesn't take much. With the cameras we have nowadays, you can do all sorts of things. Now here I have a Sony Hi8 video camera set up here in my living room, and it's got all sorts of cool effects on it. Here, look at this. That's neat, eh? And then you can just switch it like this, do this with it, and that, and that, and this. Really cool. So say if you wanted to make a music video, and you have a little talent, and I have a little talent, and you can call upon certain aspects of your personality and bring them out, so that your neighbors who normally don't see all the different sides of you get a chance to see sides that they wouldn't normally see. For instance, this is part of me I call Clarinet Chris. He's kind of new blowing a horn, but he digs it. He thinks it's cool. See, even with all them squeaks and honks and tonks, you still get the point. And it ain't hard to do. And this is the incredible technology that we have at our fingertips to go along with the fact that we have public access television to boot. So anybody out there has something to show, I say go for it. Do it. Get out there. Show your talent. Let people see who you are. And if you have an opinion, everybody has an opinion, and then you can voice your opinion. You can say whatever you want. And somebody out there might actually listen or agree with you. You can say what you want. You have their ear. You can just yak, and talk, and put your voice out there so people can see your soul. They can look right down in there, and they can look into your eyes, and they can say, this is the kind of guy he is. And you look into your soul. Art is a way to exhibit your soul, to show people what's out there, what you're made of, what we all have in common. We're all connected at that level. in the soul, deep down in the soul, that's where we all have commonality. Every one of us sits at the apex of an unbroken chain of humanity that stretches back to the beginning of human time. And that's an incredible thing when you stop to think about it. And the technology that we're given here to express our opinion is also very fascinating. So I'm going to give you a little tour around my living room and show you some of my stuff. So we'll do some kind of a fancy fade, and I'll catch you on the other side. Here are some of my sculptures shown in a pastel video effect. See that character in the middle? I'm sure we all recognize him. I actually have a story to tell. When I was probably around 10 years old, I woke up in the middle of the night, locked out of my house, on my front porch. I woke up jiggling the doorknob trying to get in. And I pounded and I pounded, but everybody was asleep upstairs and nobody heard me. It was a cold night. I don't know how I got on the front porch. So I tried all the doors, I couldn't get in. And I knew if I just climbed this tree and up to the second floor, I could crawl in my parents' bedroom window. So after trying to sleep on the glider on the front porch with my feet in an old newspaper delivery bag, I decided, well, I'd climb up and go in the window, so I did. Pried open the window with my fingertips. Woke up my parents. My father said the next day that if he would have had a gun, he would have probably shot me. But we all assumed I walked in my sleep and must have walked out the door and locked myself out of the house somehow. And I always remember the dream I had the night this occurred was that I followed the ice cream man out of my house. So I think back now on what happened in terms of what we know today with all these abduction episodes and descriptions. And I remember the dream I had that night. Framed inside the doorway to my bedroom was a little man with a big head. To me, he looked like an ice cream cone. His head looked like an ice cream cone. And I followed him out of the house. So I think that's an abduction story, and it's somehow supported by the fact that, yes, I was locked outside of the house. Nobody knew how I got outside of the house. And I woke my parents coming back in. So I guess that's an abduction story. And I do have some ideas about where these beings come from, and, who they are and where they are. So everybody has an opinion, I guess. Interesting. Yep, everybody has an opinion. Sometimes I think these little creatures are looking out for us, which I'm glad of, because I hate to think that the politicians that run this country are the ones that are looking out for us. The way the legal system is and the political system in this country, bothers me. I don't know about the rest of you. I mean, the polls that are out there indicate everybody's happy, but I don't know. I mean, I'm happy about something, but I don't think the way the legal system and the political system in this country are working is anything to be too proud of. So, public access is a way for people like myself to voice an opinion, to let them know that, hey, we don't like this. We don't like the fact that these lawyers don't care about what's right or wrong. They only care about what's legal. In a way, I wish these little grays would just take over. I think they're running things anyway. We just don't know. We're just walking around like we're the ones that created all this wonderful technology and made the world what it is, all by ourselves. But I don't think so. But what scares me most is that these politicians can stop lobbing bombs around at will just to distract attention from their political problems. I don't like it at all. Matter of fact, I wrote a song that sort of expresses what I think about this. People living in this nation are searching for an explanation for the need of confrontations. Will they ever end? People living with frustration, holding in their desperation, waiting for the detonations that must never come. With our love, we can do so much. With our love, we can do so much. People living in all nations have the power to change things, so we can live in this world as one. With our love, we can do so much. With our love, we can do so much. With the power of love that binds us, we can put the past behind us, so we can live in this world as one. With our love, we can do so much. And with our love, we can do so much. People living Yep. No, I don't like these guys lobbing bombs around every time they want to distract us from some political crisis. Yep, the square world we live in. And then there's other things that occupy our time. Things that, like man and woman. Now here's a sculpture I did. It's anatomically correct man and woman. Isn't it beautiful? And they all get along. And love prevails. Yeah, and sometimes relationships don't go too well. That's when we begin to feel a little blue. That's when Brother Chris steps in to relieve some of the heartache, some of his sad songs. Now here's a song I wrote. It goes something like this. too, you love me too. In your life, there's a place for me. In your heart, there's a space for me. There's a place for you. There's a place for me. There's a place for you, there's a place for me. And there'll always be a place for you in my heart. It's a beautiful thing. It is a beautiful thing. Here's another sculpture of mine. Hi folks, I'm Texas Chris. I got a poem for you written by my grandfather, George Albert Letty. One of many great poems that he wrote during his lifetime. And this is one I like to recite for people with broken hearts, people who have lost their women and to other men. And this sort of shows the bright side. It's called Consolation. It goes like this. I was tending bar in a cheap cafe. My spirits were light and my heart was gay. I had a job and I knew I could eat and a bed to lie on when I wanted to sleep. When the guy shuffles in, he looks like a bum and he throws down a quarter and orders a rum. Well, I've been a bum, so it's easy to see why I gave him a smile and a welcome howdy. Then he looks at me with a sort of a grin that showed me the place where his teeth had been. Then his eyes seemed to fill with a luminous light, like a man who is seeing a ghost in the night. Then he looks at me and he calls me Lou, and my heart stood still, for at once I knew 'twas the lad who once I called my pal, the lad who had stolen my little Sal. Then I thought of the years since I left home with a broken heart and to roam alone, cursing the traitor who wrecked my life, stolen my sweetheart to make her his wife. Well, the days were dark and the nights were long, and the hate in my heart became a song, singing to music to deaden the brain, singing to music to sharpen the pain. Well, I traveled the mountains, the deserts, the plain, fought through the cold, the heat, and the rain. Slept in my bedroll on hard frozen ground while coyotes and wolverines were sniffing around. I listened to the whippoorwill calling at night, gazed at the stars as they twinkled so bright. Listened to thunder rending the sky, but not for a moment forget them could I. Then my pal sort of whimpered and dropped to the floor as a 300-pound cyclone barged through the door. She was rugged and burly, her face it was red, and her hair like a haystack stood on her head. He ducked to the corner, but she was too quick, and soon she was dragging him out by the neck. So I found my pals, I'll continue to roam, for I am convinced there's no place like home. So there's always a bright side to these little situations. Now, I've written a song, a little heartache song myself, because as country music is all about heartache. Some of the best songs in country music are along these themes. And here's one that I wrote. It goes a little something like this. Summer, dated until fall. All we wanted was to have a good time. She was introduced to me by an old friend, and with a drink and a smoke we sat and spoke. She felt just like a friend. Then I knew I had to see that girl again. Well, then I saw her at a concert where we heard those love songs played, and I wondered if she could make me feel that way. Well, then I took her home and she asked me in, but I only stayed a while. Then we kissed goodnight and I left her with a smile. It seemed all she wanted was a lover. She didn't want a friend. All she wanted was to have a good time. And as the wind turned colder, the pleasure turned to pain, as we went from the sunshine to the rain. Well, then I took her to the valley fair. She made me feel alright, and we kissed atop the Ferris wheel as we looked out in the night. But in her eyes I saw the glow of distant lights, and then I knew that our time wasn't right. 'Cause all she wanted was a lover. She didn't want a friend. All she wanted was to have a good time. And then I soon discovered I couldn't love her, 'cause the feeling just wasn't there. 'Cause all she wanted was a lover. She didn't want a friend. All she wanted was to have a good time. And as the wind turned colder, the pleasure turned to pain, as we went from the sunshine to the rain. As we went from the sunshine to the rain. 'Cause all she wanted was a lover. She didn't want a friend. All she wanted was to have a good time. And as the wind turned colder, the pleasure turned to pain, as we went from the sunshine to the rain. Thank you very much. It was my pleasure to have you into my living room to listen to some of my original music, my grandfather's poem, and look at some of my sculptures, and I really appreciate it. I want to thank the Public Access Channel for giving me this opportunity to get out there and to demonstrate myself, and I think this is something that everybody should take advantage of. So if anybody sees this and they want to comment on it, they can email me at texas_chris@yahoo.com. Drop me a line and tell me what you think. You know, who knows, maybe I'll make another tape. See you later.